During WWDC 26, Apple announced iOS 27, Siri AI and its new collaboration with Google. And right now, many users are concerned about this unexpected new privacy policy. And honestly, those articles aren't wrong. But wait, does it mean that Apple privacy is gone? By the end of this video, you will know exactly what Apple changed, what it actually means for your data, and whether you should be worried. For years, Apple's privacy argument was different from everyone else's. And I mean, structurally different. It wasn't "trust us, we protect your data." It was "your data never leaves your phone, so there's nothing to steal, nothing to leak, and nothing we could hand over even if someone asked." That's not a legal guarantee, that's a physical one. And that's a completely different thing. When your Siri request never left your device, Apple didn't need a privacy policy to protect it. The architecture did the work. No server, no risk. That's the promise people are saying is dead. And they are not entirely wrong. To run the new Siri AI, the one that can actually understand context, read your emails and do useful things, Apple needs a model with 1.2 trillion parameters. Your iPhone cannot physically run it locally. The data has to go somewhere with more reasoning power. So Apple built something called private cloud compute. When your phone can't handle a request on its own, it sends it to Apple's cloud servers. Those servers process it, send back the answer, and Apple says immediately delete everything. No storage, no logs, no connection to your Apple ID. And for the requests that need even more power, Apple is using NVIDIA chips hosted on Google Cloud infrastructure. That's where the headlines come from, and they're not making it up. Here's what Apple says is actually happening on those servers. Your query gets anonymized before it reaches Google. It's processing volatile memory, so it's the same kind that wipes itself the moment the task is done. And Google is contractually banned from using any of it to train future AI models. And something important is that any independent security researchers can verify the server's code anytime to check Apple is keeping those promises if it is actually true. So those protections are real, but they are different kind of real than before. Before it was architecturally impossible for anyone to access your data. Now it's contractually and technically restricted. That's not the same thing. It's just the best available version of it. Apple wanted to do a new powerful Siri AI, and they cannot handle it on their own servers. They needed something more, so they asked Google for help. And now here is the interesting part, because Apple has been very quiet about it. In the press release announcing all of this, Apple never mentioned Google by name. The Gemini branding doesn't appear anywhere in the interface. Most iPhone users have no idea that when they ask Siri something complex, any part of that request is touching Google infrastructure. That's not a real breach. Your query is anonymized before it gets there, and Google can't use it. But it is an opacity problem. You are making a privacy decision every time you use the new Siri AI, and Apple hasn't told you who is involved. Is that a deal breaker? That's a fair question. Now, separate from all of this, iOS 27 also brings a set of privacy features that work exactly the way old Apple's privacy worked. Screen time has been rebuilt, parental controls are generally more granular now, and setting up a child's account is also simpler. Safari has new content filters, and all of these things are, let's say, unsexy privacy wins. Nobody writes angry headlines about them, but they are the one that actually will change something for most families using iPhone and Apple infrastructure. So, should you trust Apple's new AI privacy claims? Honestly, it depends on which Apple you were trusting before. If you were trusting Apple because your data never left your phone, that's changed. The new Siri requires cloud processing. That's not going away. And if that's your line, you should know it's been moved. But if you were trusting Apple because they are the company least likely to sell your data, use it for advertising, or build business model on top of your personal information, that's still true. More true actually than any of their competitors. Nobody else is offering independent verification of their cloud servers. Nobody else has built this level of technical protection around AI processing. Apple has done the best job anyone has done bringing AI into a framework that takes privacy seriously. Whether that framework is good enough, well, it's a question only you can answer. But you should answer it knowing the full picture, not just the headlines. At the end, choosing Apple or another brand is fine, but here's the reality. Statistics show that most security breaches happen because regular people just don't know how to defend themselves online. Human error is still the biggest problem. So if you want to stay ahead of the problem and learn how to secure your digital life, regardless of what Apple does next or another company, subscribe to the channel and let's figure it out together. And what about you? Where do you stand on this new shift by Apple? Drop your thoughts in the comments and see ya in the next video. Ciao!